Igniting, inspiring, and evoking the fire within. You're listening to the What's Your Inspiration podcast with Foxspire.
Hello, everybody. Usually I do these mini-sodes through Tanya Hoffman and Public Speakers Association, but I wasn't able to get on this month, so it's just me and my blue snowflake microphone. A few weeks back, I was coaching for a local baseball team here in New Jersey, and it was about 6:10 p.m. before our 7 o'clock game, and I was throwing to a few hitters in the batting cage. And through the players' entrance walked a group of about 20 people. And within the group was NBA player Karl Anthony Towns. Later that evening, his dad was to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. Well, in his group of people that he brought to the game with him was one of his friends named Audrey. And I took a liking to Audrey pretty much right away, and after the game, we exchanged phone numbers. That Monday morning, Audrey sent out a mass text, and it was motivational in nature. And one of the first things it said was, "Sometimes you lose your fear by being scared out of your mind." I'll say it again. Sometimes you lose your fear by being scared out of your mind. How would you feel if you were Casey O'Brien? Casey is a backup placeholder for the University of Minnesota football team. Casey was, and always will be, obsessed with football. Ever since he can remember, he said, he was been playing football. And in 2013, he had this pain in his knee that just would not go away. It was not a nagging sprain. It was not early arthritis. It was a rare form of childhood bone cancer called osteosarcoma. And ever since his diagnosis, Casey has had one goal, and that is to get back on the football field. In his room upon his diagnosis, as I saw on college game day one day, he had motivational messages. One read, "Wake up, whip tail, repeat." And that's what he's been doing, it seems, since his diagnosis. Waking up, whipping tail, and repeating it. And he's done this through four F-O-U-R, bouts of cancer. Meaning he's contracted cancer, it's gone in remission, he's contracted it, he's beaten it, he's contracted it, he's beaten it, he's contracted it, and he's beaten it again. His dad, in an interview that I saw on college game day a few Saturdays ago, said this. A couple of things that I thought were important. One, football has kept him alive. Two, there are survival rates of cancer because people like Casey survive. Now, I want to be clear on what I feel beating and surviving cancer is. To me, beating surviving cancer is doing as much of what you want, when you want, how you want, when you're going through the cancer. And as I said, Casey is a backup placeholder for the University of Minnesota football team. He is 15 months cancer-free. Casey O'Brien. Now, if we apply that to our own lives, again, going back to Audrey's text, sometimes you lose your fear of something by being scared out of your mind. Well, I think within that, you've got to realize this. And this was also at the end of Audrey's text. It read, "We all have abilities we can't even imagine. The only thing that is up to us is to find out what those abilities are." I'll say it again. We all have abilities we can't even imagine. The only thing that is up to us is to find out what those abilities are. Oftentimes, I feel it's like it is fear that gets in the way of those things. But let me express this. When you fail at something, it doesn't make you a failure. So give it your best at what you want to be, because it would be a total shame if you failed at what you didn't want to be. In the end, you might not have it all, but remember, it is not naive to try. So prayer eyes, picture eyes, and actualize. And in the end, fly high. Yes, as it stands right now, all you have is your current reality. Every day in your head, fear disguises as practicality. Practicality says play it safe. It says this year after year. But if you would dare lift its mask, all you would see is fear. So stand up, take off the mask, and kick fear to the past. Be the person you are destined to be. Turn around and let your naysayers kiss your left pinky toe. If this is your first time listening, I'm Fox Beyer. I'm a teacher, speaker, author, and a coach, and you're listening to the What's Your Inspiration podcast. A couple of offers for you as we wrap up this mini-sode. One, my website, foxbeyer.com, foxbeyer.com. If you go on there, a couple of offers. One, at the very top of my webpage is an opportunity for a free download of a song called Deeper Roots. I wrote the lyrics to it, and I think it speaks a lot to what I spoke about today. At the bottom of my webpage is an opportunity to message me. And if you feel like you have a story that's worth sharing, and you could share the people, places, and things that put you on a path to where you are today, I'd love to have you as a guest on my What's Your Inspiration podcast. Please shoot me a message and we'll get the ball rolling. And I have a book out of motivational and inspirational poetry called Letter Kindling. That poem you heard, When Fear Wears Practicality's Mask, is in that book. If you'd like a free copy, I would be more than happy to send you one. Just message me off of my website. The book is also available on Amazon.com. So as we wrap up, coming up November 1, the episode of Kimberly Chapman on the What's Your Inspiration podcast will drop. Kimberly went through a life transformation spiritually a short time ago, and she's looking to use that to help people. And she is a brilliant speaker. Kimberly Chapman coming up November 1. So that is it from here today. Again, sometimes you lose your fear by being scared out of your mind, but realize you have abilities you can't even imagine. The only thing that is up to you is to find out what those abilities are. That's it from here. Take good care.
You have been listening to the What's Your Inspiration podcast with Fox Beyer, because impact on each other is the greatest currency you could ever have.